Entertainment every weekend.
Check this.
Welcome one and all to the DL debate. A very special DL debate this evening. We are, as ever, rounding up all the GAA news of the week. I want to thank Joe Dex for the Power Hour Plus. He was putting out the beats there, getting us excited before the show would start. Thanks for listening in, everybody. Now on Highland Radio or back via the podcast. Everybody, this is a top show coming at you tonight. We're going to look back at all the weekend's action, including 3 wins for our county sides, of course. Donegal ladies at home to Westmeath, Donegal hurlers away to Wicklow, and our footballers taking the maximum points in Breffni Park by the minimum 1 point victory. Great results for the Donegal sides at the weekend. We're going to, of course, look at all the football across Ulster as well. My guest this evening, Brendan Maguire, will be coming up shortly in the show. The Killybegs native has a big connection to the show tonight, which we'll explain shortly. He now is manager of Lavey this season, coming in as well. Big job for Brendan, well done in landing that one. He's coming up shortly. After this, I'll speak with Armagh legend Aaron Kernan, with a special focus, of course, on Donegal Cavan. Armagh's impressive one to Meath, our big rivals in Division 2, and of course the big derby, Derry's emphatic victory over Tyrone. Following this, Setanta hurling great Niall Cleary, Setanta and Donegal hurling great, of course, Niall Cleary will join us to talk about what a season Setanta have, history making Ulster champions. Their dinner dance is coming up this week. Richie Power, one of the guests, he is coming on later to tell us all about this. But first of all, ladies and gentlemen, the one and only, the main man from Charman, Pauric Hilferty, has joined us. Pauric, great to see you.
How you doing, Brendan? Are you keeping well? You're looking well.
I'm looking well.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, fair play.
I was going to say the same to yourself. Are you drinking the water down and doing well? Or what?
I am, yeah.
What's the secret?
Just 4 kids keep you busy, Brendan, you know, but it's all good. But a fantastic weekend for Donegal. First of all, Brendan, suppose in the DL debate, it's good when you've 3 of your teams within the county winning. And suppose, first of all, we've got a special mention to the ladies for this young side to actually come away with a victory yesterday in a really blustery O'Donnell Park. Yeah. And we know how difficult it is down there, but what a victory and what a confidence boost it will give John McNulty's side.
Yeah, new coach coming in, as we're talking, for this brilliant set of Donegal ladies that we've had knocking on the door, you know, of an All-Ireland and coming close enough. And, you know, the victory against Dublin a couple of years ago when we were building, and it was if Maxie kept going back, give us another year, give us a year. There had to be a time when there was a change. John has come in now, great coach. Opening day victory against Laois, very good. Disappointing defeat to Kildare last week, but at home bouncing back.
He went into that game without three of his well-known players, and one of them being Katie Hearn, of course. Huge experience without Katie, I suppose, getting that shot before the throw-in. Brendan, Amy Boyle-Carr was out as well. So going into that game yesterday, in those conditions, Westmeath, Donegal could have buried their head, but I was just reading during the day about the game, and one of the players that stepped up, and a number of them did step up, but one of them notably was Katie Dowds, 17 years of age, I do believe, still playing minor football, and that gives you great confidence when that happens. And look, you have to allow other players to maybe make that step up as well, and give them that opportunity, because it is, Brendan, as you know, it's only on them days you'll know how good a player is.
And of course the ladies game, you know, 17 sounds so young, but ladies footballers tend to come on that bit earlier, you know, they're thrust into senior action very quick. You say Katie, 3 points as Anne White with a goal and a point, and 6 scores across the scoreline, which is encouraging, I suppose. When you look at it, you know, out of 1-9, you know, you need a spread of scores, but certainly you need your players, a couple of players inside, definitely registering, and I suppose they got that mix and blend right. As I say, just looking at John the last few years, you know, there's no doubting he's a very progressive coach in terms of going out and applying his style. Of course, it's going to take a while to bed that in a new team, so in many ways a good fit all over.
Within the league, I suppose within the ladies' league as well, trying something out, and I know he's brought Nicole Gordon back into that defensive role. Normally plays up front, but yesterday she came back into that I suppose at 6, maybe a quarterback, to call it an American football brand. But look, really did a fantastic job there by all accounts yesterday, ensuring that nothing was going to be easily given up. Evelyn McGinley as well. Your defence. One thing about football, of course, as you know, is having good defenders. You do need your forwards and developing those as players. But I think what John did yesterday was a wee bit, maybe just take a look at where things. You could always make improvements after each game, but maybe making things a little bit tighter. And once Westmeath came, and the last thing you want, Brennan, is in any game is to give away goals. And suppose that was something that they curtailed yesterday, and that improved as the game grew. They grew into confidence, and other players stepped up. So great victory for the girls yesterday.
Yeah. And listen, that was a wee quarterback reference in a Super Bowl week as well. Listen, for going to say I have some bad wee boys. You mentioned 4 there. I have 4, and there's a couple of them need to get to bed there. And Trass was like they're running amok now. So Lucas and Senan, you get yourselves up, get the hot water bottle. We're still in hot water bottle season, right? Get up to bed. They gave them a wee mention. I keep forgetting Pauric. You can mention your kids next week. I'll leave that open. Pauric, listen, brilliant one for the ladies. Say that's 2 out of 3. Listen, they say it ain't bad, as the song goes. Donegal men, of course, we're going to chat to Aaron Kernan in a bit. We're going to round up all the football, particularly Ulster, as I said at the start. But listen, away from home, I've just looked, Pauric, you can't kill a game away from home.
Yeah.
You got to say at any point, even 4 points in it, Cavan are a decent side. We're still building. So in many ways, a lot of learning from it. You get out by the skin of their teeth. But again, it's 2 from 2. Great start from Jim.
The thing I like about Donegal at the minute, they're going in every game. They're giving as much as they possibly can, and that's the starting point for a lot of teams. If they're giving 100%, obviously, you don't mind if you get defeated, if you know where I'm coming from. But to go away from home, to come away with a 1-point victory in the conditions, you got to remember the conditions were suppose they were fairly difficult. But in the game, Donegal, suppose when you look at it, Brendan, there will be a little bit of head scratching. They could have had a chance or two. Jamie Brennan had an opportunity. Maybe he fisted the ball with the bar. For me, Jamie had the hard work done on that particular opportunity that he had. But look, it's easy saying that sitting in the stand.
It was a wee bit tight. I funny, listening to the boys and them when I seen it then. It was a wee bit tight. You can understand. I don't think it was one of them ones. Definitely, you were going to rattle the net. But listen, I suppose in hindsight, if you go on maybe to draw the game, you think there was the winning and losing of it. As it was, I suppose, winning by a point, we got out. But
you got to look at the different players. If you look at the positioning of players, the movement, and Jim is constantly researching his team at the minute. And for me, playing players in different positions is a key stature of the man. The way he moves players about and figures out exactly where they can maybe make a more of an impact, and maybe the other people wouldn't be thinking about it. I'm thinking of Keelan McGonigal at number 6. For me, that's at the minute is working really well. Shows intent of what Donegal is going to be defensively moving forward. You've got Brendan McCole in that full back line. You've got a number of players around him then, the runners from deep. I know Peter Mogan was missing yesterday, but look, you can only improve week in, week out. Take the conditions. It is February. It was really windy, but very, very positive from that point of view to come away from Devenney Pauric with a 1-point victory.
Yeah, definitely. Listen, we're going to talk about that some more, as I say, when we get AK, the one and only Aaron Kernan, on. But after the break, we're going to speak with Brendan Maguire.
Food you'll love till 9 p.m. daily in Sara's Kitchen, and there's free admission entertainment every weekend. There's bingo every Monday night at Halfway House, Burnfoot. Doors open 7:30 with eyes down at 8:30. €2,500 must go. The snowball is now €2,350 on 45 numbers or less. If you're not in, you can't win. That's Halfway House bingo tonight at 8:30.
Gach Líon sa CLG, Tarlíonn rud éigean uthúil, ó omthirí céad an orcha, go comim roirí an céad grád. Fíor céalaí córic idir condaigh go cóide, agus í rasarí ag tacu lena chéile anois. Faltan is í leactíomh, tagan na himróí club agus condaigh is fearr le chéile ó gach chearn. In na ngeansathe coláiste agus ollscoile chun imirt le chéile, feidhmiú le chéile agus bóchan le chéile. Caithfidh gurbéis sin, Críofacha Electric Ireland, Sigerson, Fitzgibbon agus an Crave Ord Educate.
The new year is here, but don't forget about the old tax year. Log on to Revenue's My Account to check your end-of-year position and claim any tax credits you are entitled to. If you're due a refund, you'll get it within days. If you owe us money, we'll work with you on payment options. My Account. It's quick, it's easy, and it's free.
Right now, B&Q Club members get 10% off everything in store and online. Not a member? Join today, save today. Sign up in store or at DIY.ie. But hurry, offer ends Tuesday. You can do it. Exclusions and terms and conditions apply. See DIY.ie.
The DL debate with Sister Sarah's Letterkenny, serving food you'll love till 9 p.m. daily in Sarah's Kitchen. And there's free admission entertainment every weekend.
Yes, welcome back. Now we're going to talk to Brendan Maguire, and I said from the top of the show, he has a special part to play in tonight's show. Brendan, how are you?
Good.
Good man, Brendan. We're here.
How's things yourself?
Brendan, not too bad. It's the bank holiday weekend, but we thought we would keep the show rolling because there's so much sport on. Sometimes we miss bank holidays, but the great Joe Dex has come in here to produce and look after me. I think he's on double time tonight. Are you on double time, Joe? No, he's not sure. Brendan, listen, the reason it was great to have you on tonight is because a wee while back, fair play, you organised a charity game in the Little Angels and of the hospice, and you asked me to play, and I was like, man, the playing days are well gone. I says, I tell you what, why don't we do, we'll liven up the game, because it was a mixture of legends from the men's and ladies games, and you just amassed a brilliant crew there for the match, and I says, why don't we do a bit of commentary through the tannoy, myself and Pauric, and this is how Pauric now is in studio, because ever since then we had a brilliant day. Brendan, I says to Pauric, why don't you come on to the studio and we'll have a bit of crack and we'll interview guests, and it came off the back of that game that you brilliantly organised, Brendan.
Yeah, well, I suppose I can't really take all the credit. We had a great team there in Thursday, Brendan. We put in a charity team there at the end of last year, and we were just running small charity events throughout the month. So we were just for small kind of local schools and all that there about Letterkenny. We were sitting down trying to come up with ideas, and myself and David Hilferty decided that we'd try and run a charity game and, you know, make it a mix of the Donegal 2012 team legends and the ladies current and former players. So, you know, when we kind of sat in the room and came down with the idea of it, like, everybody was thinking it was a bit mad, but as you know, these charity events, how they go, once you get the ball rolling, Brendan, and you start reaching out to people like yourself there, I just sent you a text message to see could you play a part in it, and I think you called me 5 minutes later with this mad idea that you would do the running commentary over O'Donnell Park. And you know what, Brendan, it actually made the day. Yourself and Pauric were brilliant, having a crack, doing a bit of slagging, I suppose. I got a good touch myself when I was coming on.
I would have to say Brendan was a wee bit dubious about some of the stats during commentary. I was questioning him.
I was carried about, no, we didn't have proper team sheets, so I'm not going to blame anybody for that, but Pauric definitely carried the show, I'll tell you that.
I don't know about that. I was just referencing Big Neil Gallagher's managerial career. It was he's scratching the head quite a bit, Brendan, wasn't he?
Yeah. He had one of those ponderous looks, as if he wasn't too sure what's going on. But listen, he did the business on the pitch. Go ahead, Brendan.
No, I'm just saying they were under pressure at half time. Maybe that's why he's scratching the head. They were 4 points down, you know.
But listen, it was a great way. I think I had a bit of a hop flash with me. That kind of kept me ticking over. We were doing a good bit of rambling second half. But I was just thinking, Brendan, sometimes those wee games, you see, you know, with the best will in the world, they can be a bit, I suppose, they can in some ways be all interchange of coming in and out. You want to make a bit of a fun in the day. You know, it's more a fun day. So listen, having someone like Pauric around like that certainly made that happen. I really enjoyed it. Made a great day in the park. Then after that, Brendan, the news broke then about your managerial career taking a turn up to the Dairymen of Lavey. Excited about the challenge ahead?
Yeah, it's a good challenge, Brendan. One that I'm looking forward to getting my teeth stuck into, to be quite honest with you. Right now it's just about getting down there, getting to know the players, build relationships with them, and having the players get to know me as well, vice versa. it's only February, it's early days, but the fixtures haven't been released in Derry yet. Hopefully we'll get them in the next number of weeks, and then we can sit down with the management team and plan our year ahead. Lavi's steeped in tradition there, Brenton. They've won 2 Ulsters, 1 in All Ireland, 10 Derry championships, but the last one is dating back to 93, and there's a burning desire there from anybody that I've met in the club, to reach that promised land again. So I'm going to do everything that I can to get there.
Brendan, looking at the success of Slaughtneil and also of Waddy Graham's as well, that has to, suppose, play in your mind a wee bit, preparing for the players for that. And suppose there's a massive aspect there within Derry at the minute. There've been a number of really, really good sides coming up. How are you going to prepare your side looking forward into that when you've got the All-Ireland champions in your championship this year?
On their doorstep, by the way, which I'm sure isn't easy.
On the doorstep, 10 minutes down the road. Massive achievement from Glen. They've been knocking on the door probably the last 4 or 5 years there, beating the final last year. There's no doubt about it. Every club in Derry is probably studying them inside out because they're the top dog. It's like any top team. If you go back to Donegal's, Jim McGuinness's Donegal in 2012, all the club teams copy that template, and most of the club teams now are going to try and copy Glen's template, but I don't believe that's the way to go. You have to put your own imprint on the team, and you've got to have serious belief in what you coach. And once the players see that there, and you take them along with you, that's your own imprint on it, I believe. So I don't think that we're going to be copying anything that Glen or Slaughtneil and them have done in the past. There's a good, young, fast, fit team there. So you have to actually see what players you have at your disposal before you go and implement a game plan there.
Yeah. And Brendan, tell me, obviously there was a bit of... I'd be up that way. Listen, I know there's a bit of turmoil in the club, which is previous to your time coming in there. So in many ways, you're in there, man, it's like a clean slate, and there's a massive buzz about Derry between the Derry County team and the Club All Ireland in there. So even though you're going into a very competitive championship, there's a huge excitement, as you say, Lavy. I mean, the setup there, the facilities are second to none. So in many ways, loads and loads of positives, Brendan, for you coming in this season to, put your stamp on it.
There's serious talent coming through, Brendan. They're very competitive underage. They've got a number of minors there that have played for Derry last year that won the All-Ireland minor. They've got a number of under-20s that are with Derry that got very far last year as well. And then obviously you've got the 2 county players that are up at the moment. So everything's going in the right direction for them. They have serious plans in place, underage, good structure. There's a lot of teams there between the football and the hurling, the underage and the camogie and everything. So everybody's trying to, go in the right direction to get to where we want to be, like.
And I think they're one of the only clubs in Ulster maybe that has their own dome as well, Brendan.
Oh, what a setup!
Yeah,
it's some facility, so it is. Yeah, as I said to one of my friends there last day, it's like walking into a top League of Ireland club, so to speak. You just, when you're walking into the clubhouse, you just see Lavy, Aaron's own, hits you straight in the face, and the 2 doors open up. It's brilliant facilities. They've got the dome up there. They have 2 full pitches, one of them floodlit, so most of the facilities about there are like that anyway.
Aye, back in the old tracker days, Brendan, when I used to stop there and I got to know the boy, and he used to let me use the gym, and I would jog around the indoor pitch, and it was a phenomenal place to be if my boss isn't listening. So I used to always do a wee gym section in the gym. So the setup, I know the setup well, unreal spot. But sure, listen, Brendan, we'd love to talk to you as the year goes on and see how the club is going. We'll certainly be keeping an eye out. It's great to have a Donegal man in there getting experience. I'm sure the Killybegs boys will be calling on you at some stage down the road.
Aye, well, look, Brendan, home is where your heart is. It's always been. I got into coaching first of all, underage with Killybegs, and obviously then I got a serious injury, so I took over the minor team, and then halfway through the senior year, John Rasden, a buddy of yours, and Eugene Mulligan were coaching. They asked me would I coach the senior team then, and I went in and helped them out, when I got the buzz then for it. I was always, as I said, I was always coaching underage, so I was. But once I started coaching the Killybegs seniors, that's when I knew I wanted to be a coach.
Brilliant stuff, and listen, we want to wish you all the best in that, Brennan, and again, well done in the charity work there. Much appreciated by so many people, and it was just great for myself and Pauric to help out. Maybe next year try Oisin and McHugh, see as good as me and Pauric.
They might get a team sheet.
They might. Listen, very good. Listen, Brennan, great chatting to you, and we'll catch up as the season goes on.
All right, Brendan. Thanks, Pauric. Chat to you later.
Cheers, Brendan.
All right.
That's great. Brendan Maguire there coming up after a break. We're going to talk Ulster football with Aaron Kernan.
The DL debate with Sister Sara's Letterkenny, serving food you'll love till 9 p.m. daily in Sara's kitchen, and there's free admission entertainment every weekend.
Cabin crew, prepare for landing.
Wow, that was a quick flight. Never mind. Bondi Beach, Barrier Reef, here we come. Holiday of a lifetime. Can't wait.
Me neither.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll shortly be landing in Austria.
Austria? We're supposed to be going to Australia. Oh, what have you done?
I should have gone to Specsavers. Book an eye test online. Does anyone have any long trousers I could borrow?
I've only got a bikini, Andy.
Tesco Club Card gives you the power to lower prices to help you wave goodbye to the January blues and say hello to the bank holiday weekend. Like Pringles sour cream and onion 165 gram was €3.49, now €1.50. And Coke Zero and Diet Coke cans 24 pack were €19, now €10 each. And Guinness Draft cans 15 pack was €29, now €24.86. Lower the cost of your shop with your Tesco Club Card or app. The power to lower prices. Tesco. Every little helps. Products subject to availability. Prices may vary in express stores. Enjoy alcohol responsibly.
Do you currently have vacancies that need urgently filled? Have you tried various ways to find new staff but didn't succeed? Let Highland Radio help you source and fill your current vacancies in the most cost-effective way. Simply sign up to our new job spot and we will tell our listeners about your vacancies both on air and online. Every Monday, Wednesday and Friday during our primetime shows, we will broadcast the latest job opportunities across the Northwest and into counties Derry and Tyrone. All job listings will be available online at highlandradio.com. For more information, contact the advertising team on 07491 25322 or email advertising@highlandradio.com. Highland Radio, we're here for you.
The DL debate with Sister Sara's Letterkenny, serving food you'll love till 9 p.m. daily in Sara's kitchen, and there's free admission entertainment every weekend.
Yes, welcome back. We're going to look across Ulster football, and particularly, of course, Donegal, Cavan, and of course our friends in Armagh and the big derby, Tyrone and Derry. I'm joined by AK. It is himself, Aaron Kernan, this evening. How are you, Aaron?
PV, great to be back on again with you.
No problem. Aaron, we've Pauric Hilferty in studio here.
Aaron, how are you doing? Are you keeping well?
He's a man of stats, a man of knowledge. I needed him to make me sound good.
Yeah, Aaron's
yeah, you and me both.
Aaron, I can still hear that wee bit of you were sick there. I heard you got out of sick bed. I didn't make it for smaller fish last week with Parkinson, but I heard you sucked it up and got through an hour plus. Say you're still soldiering on even though you've retired.
Yeah, deathbed to get out and talk a bit of ball. I knew you weren't going to be there, so we couldn't let him down altogether. But actors, the usual this time of year, there's always something going about. But thankfully, nearly back in the men now.
And tell me, how's the newfound time going there, Aaron? In terms of, that unbelievable career you had with our mum of Crossmaglen, winning everything in sight. Really, what's it like now? These early days of freedom.
Yeah, to be honest with you, I'm enjoying it. I'm not missing it at all. I knew myself. I was very much at peace with it. I'd done all that I feel I could do, and I'd given everything I could give. Physically, I probably still could go on, but I just know deep down I just don't have the hunger to be as disciplined as what I've been for 20 odd years. I want to get back into doing a bit of giving a bit back to the club in terms of underage coaching, and been there to see my kids growing up and developing, and like I said, just thrilled to have achieved what I've achieved, to play at the level that I played at, and come out unscathed as well. Like I've no injuries worth talking about. So just count myself very fortunate and more than happy to call it a day. And at the moment, just getting involved in underage really. We're just sort of starting to put plans in place. I'm going to go in and help with under 8s and under 10s, and Tony McEntee has been over sort of the full development of underage within the club, and I've taken up that role now. He's obviously still very busy with what he's doing at county level with Sligo, and as a family as well to deal with and work. So yeah, I'll get into that as well and see where it takes us over the next 10 years or so as a club.
Mighty man, no doubt, Aaron, you'll put your stamp on it. No marks to come out in them chiseled good looks of yours, and that nose survived as well, which
he's done really well. He's kept his hips as well, so he's doing.
Yeah, well, is that a dig at me?
I'm thinking a lot of players.
Listen, this is what's going to happen here, and you know, the hips, as you seen that night in Crossmaglen, I've still got a few moves in the dance floor, kid, you know it. Aaron, tell me, Division 2.
I was never in doubt, Brendan.
Maybe in my own head I think I still have it, but Aaron, we're going to start at Division 2 because that's a big one for us and yourselves. Start of the season, our man Donegal with the two teams was tipped, and of course using that sticky opener to Louth, of course having a great performance last week. You blew Meath away at the weekend. We had a very impressive first one against a Pauric, and then a sticky victory over Cavan. What have you made of them early exchanges? Do people call it right, like we did, I suppose, in terms of it's a Donegal and Armagh potentially top two teams in the league?
Yeah, well, even though it is only the second weekend, I do see that I think it will be Armagh and Donegal ultimately that will come out. I think the fact that Cork now have lost for the second weekend in a row, they'd be doing great work to try and pull it back, because I can't see Armagh or Donegal losing 3 times, over the next couple of weeks. But I suppose week one for yourselves, I have to say, like literally from 2-3 minutes in, it was very, very pleasing on the eye to see the stamp that Jim was putting on it. And I'm smart enough to be able to caveat it that weather and a long travel maybe for Cork, and just boys been keen and eager, it might have showcased you in a bit better light, but it was just how you're going about it, the different sort of plan, and the amount of boys he's got back on board and that there, and the buzz that it brings to the county. I just think it's great. I think it's unbelievable, the turnaround and fortunes and excitement and personnel from this conversation that ourselves had last year. And then likewise Armagh last week, everyone was sort of a bit disappointed in Armagh last week. I always knew Louth were going to be difficult enough to beat. I just felt we were a bit more cagey than what was necessary, particularly late on whenever we were playing with a strong breeze. I felt we dropped off too much off their kickouts whenever it wasn't necessary, and it gave a good team like Louth a bit of momentum to come at us, and literally we hung on. They could have had a 45 at the end to draw it, and it probably would have been a fair result, but got a wee bit of luck, got that win. And then after a slow enough 15 minutes on Saturday night, as soon as they got a sniff against Meath, they just completely wiped the floor with them. Now, an awful lot of it was what Armagh did well, but again, Meath, very young, very, very inexperienced, and once the game turned, you could just see like there was no chance they were coming back. One goal before half time put maybe 4 or 5 points in it, and that was it. You knew that was the end of it for them. But still, great that we have the 2 wins on board, and looking like we're heading where we want to be, which is back to Division 1.
Yeah. And Pauric, just about that, you look at those games, the 2 games for sticky away games, there has to be a thing where the home side are going to be buoyed. They're going to come at you. Cam didn't get a goal, but the 3 points in the second half in a row coming down the stretch propelled them back into the match. And of course we see that a lot. If the home team, if Donegal were at home there, they're going to control that game and extend the lead. You got to give that thing to a home side that are pumped up and ready to go at you. And definitely Gallagher there, from the word I'm getting back from the Cavan players, because it was a strange enough appointment. I thought, an experience completely coming in. Stevie O'Neill, some of them there from Tyrone. There's certainly things seem to be moving in the right direction from him, and it's Donegal we're seeing coming through the physical challenge. And the modern game, physicality is huge. They really put it up to Donegal, particularly in that second half.
Well, they definitely did. And you look at the Cavan, those Cavan players, Darren McVitie, you look at him, out and out footballer for a number of years now. Cavan have a lot of strength and depth, and as you said, Galligan, the appointment of him, a lot of eyebrows were raised. But look, maybe Brendan, that's, you look at Vinnie Corey and Monaghan, you look at that type of appointment, and he's done the right thing. He's got a bit of experience in around him as well. But from a Donegal point of view, I suppose, really, Cavan came at Donegal at that stage, and look, if you're smart about your football, you know that's going to happen. Like you're going to have that. They have that home advantage as well. But look, I think from the point of view, from Donegal's point of view, that a couple of key opportunities that Jim will be looking at this week again, that maybe they should have taken and maybe put that game out of sight. But look, looking at Armagh, I love Armagh supporters, because it was just when Louth came to town, Aaron, look, it was going to be a difficult game, all right, but our Armagh supporters they're really tough on Armagh, the Armagh team, because they forget last year the Ulster Championship, how far they got, and it's just penalties that have beaten them, So look, from an Armagh point of view as well, Brendan, 2 wins out of 2. The first one wasn't pretty. The second one, as Aaron has indicated, they smelt a little bit of blood and they went for it. So that has to be very, very impressive from where Kieran McGinney's sitting there at the minute. They're looking like they're in a position to go back up as well. So look, I'm really looking forward to that game. I know we're looking ahead there, but both sides.
Yeah, we'll not worry about Fermanagh. We'll just
no, definitely not. No.
Listen, Aaron, you talked about players last year, and obviously Patton was brilliant again at the weekend. Brendan McCole, I think, is one of the most solid defenders in the country. Really, Steve McMenamin back in. There's a few injury problems. He had a huge game. Ryan McHugh's absolutely flying. It's if that year off has rested him. And Pauric was talking earlier, Ryan, about Cian McGonigal at number 6 and how well he is playing as well. And he likes a Kieran Thompson, McBurdy, and of course Oisín Gallen being Oisín Gallen. So a lot of pluses. Michael Langan back as well. Aaron, listen, a lot of pluses. You mentioned looking from the outside in Donegal, you can see the general momentum of the team. Of course, Turbot stepping up for you at the weekend in terms of freezing it. What about the main man, O'Neill? What's the word in him?
Well, Ryan's back in training with him at the moment, so he is, but he just hasn't made actually either of the match day squads. He did get back in for one of the McKenna Cup games. I think it was maybe the very last one, but didn't see any game time. So yeah, he just needs to get his fitness back up. And I'm saying Kieran, probably it could be maybe a two-way sword that he's putting a bit of responsibility in that there on the likes of Turbo, hitting the free kicks, and at the same time just making Ryan know that to get back in there you're going to have to work for it. So I think it'll be win-win for him. He'll have a fit and a very hungry Ryan O'Neill back whenever that opportunity does.
That's a really good thing, isn't it?
Does open up.
Without being cheeky, Aaron, can I ask you? I see you're practicing penalties.
You're right for about another 2 months. But I would like to think it is something down the line that it's going to become a priority.
Listen, all joking aside, that sounds like
I can't take any more heartbreak.
That sounds like a dig, Aaron, but basically your season hinged on a couple of, and I'm thinking to myself, and as much as it's a weird and it's such a hard thing to recreate, particularly in training, it's such a strange thing, but really it changes your season, from another what if kind of campaign. And I suppose the general vibe about beginning, you still got to say that things progressed in many ways. I think you can play devil's advocate, can you, with the whole situation?
Okay, you can. I suppose you know yourself from a goal scorer that all of that is down to confidence too, and you can practice all you want, but the pressure that comes on you in those big days with the crowd there and maybe a miss, psychologically it's tough to deal with. In terms of, I suppose, what you're talking about, Geezer, or where we're at, there are times where there's frustrations that we do feel that there's certain stages we just step off, and we have teams on the rack and we don't go for the throat, we don't finish them off. And what I mean by that there is, say the Galway game a couple of years ago, we get a free kick to put us one up, time's up, and then en masse we just all retreated the whole way back and gave some of the best footballers in Ireland, just said dish the ball, go on ahead. So Shaving come up the field and the wall stopped the field, and Killy McDade kicks a point, goes to penalties. In my opinion, whenever it's championship football, and this isn't being naive or looking about like football years ago, championship football and winning championship teams, there's an aggression, there's a cutthroat nature to them. They go after things. You do not give the best players, whenever the game is on the line, in the opposition, the ball and say, come at us and gives you a best shot. Because we did it then, right? We did it against Galway then, and we got beaten penalties. We did it against Derry in the Ulster final last year.
Against
Whenever they had a black card.
Kerry as well, probably in that league opener.
Yeah, we retreated against Derry in the Ulster final and gave them a bit of momentum, got the draw. We did it over in Carrick and Shannon against Galway again last year and got off with it because Shane Walsh missed the free kick. And then against Monaghan, same thing in the championship. We dropped off after kicking a free to put us 1 point up, and next thing they go off the field, McManus kicks the Glazer, penalties again. So that is only one small tactical change that we keep seeming to stick with, but it's costing us dearly. Small margins. So that's the type of thing that has become a frustration. And the Loud game last weekend, Conor Turbot scored a free kick to put us 2 up with 4 minutes to go, but we were playing with a gale. So I'm standing at the game going, right, we'll just get man to man here, force them long, the ball's going to hang in the air, and let's smash the ball, get a break and try and pen them in. Same thing though, we retreated everybody back to the middle of the field, Loud waltz up the field, kick a point, and next thing it's 1 point in it, and you're looking at your watch going, these boys are going to pen us in now for the last 3 or 4 minutes. And that's what happened. And luckily again this time we got away with it, where they missed the last 45 and we got a 1 point win. So that's just a wee small thing, Pauric, that has been frustrating people.
And what you're trying to say really, Aaron, is that's down to management really. That's, some things when you look at those situations, in those high intense championship matches, yes, the league as well, but is that decisions that are made on the line?
Well, it has to be, because if it didn't work against Galway 2 years ago, and then it didn't work 3 times we did it last year, if you're letting players make these calls and it's costing us dearly, well, it doesn't say a whole pile for you as a management then. So you would have to think that it is something that they're talking about, discussing. I just don't see it working. And to be honest with you, like I seen Kerry doing it yesterday against Monaghan, and you see this an awful lot, is as soon as a team scores a goal now, they'll all drop off. So Clifford's second goal yesterday and Kerry all dropped off to the middle of the field, and within 30 seconds Monaghan waltz up the field and Jack McCarron kicks the ball over the bar, and I'm wondering to myself, what is the point in you dropping off? Like, because teams are now too good at this, they've got used to you dropping off. They'll just carry the ball up the field and wait till someone comes in the loop and get the shot off. So therefore it's a total waste of time. So can we just not change? That's just my point, is try something different. They're going to go up the field and score anyway. So can we not try and pen them in, or try and force a turnover instead of just giving top inter-county players the ball?
Yeah. Aaron, listen, brilliant stuff. Aaron, last couple of minutes, just I have to ask you about this Derry juggernaut. Yourself and Molly picked them to be league champions this year. A very out of sorts, newish type Tyrone team. Like, Derry operating really at another level, completely controlled the game, and they're going to take a bit of stopping.
They are, and we also talked about that we felt they were probably 2 forwards short, maybe of going on to be ultimately All-Ireland champions, and I know it's maybe early in the year and a big call. I think they're only 1 forward short now, because what I've seen of Cormac Murphy last weekend in a short period of time where the game's a draw and he literally takes on the whole Kerry defence by himself, beats them all until they have to drag him down. That just showed brazenness for me. It showed self-belief in someone who was backing himself and got into a dangerous area, got fouled. But yesterday he took it to a whole new level altogether. 2 points off his left, 1 off his right, and just so direct, so busy, and no turnovers from any possessions that he had. I just thought he was absolutely brilliant, and definitely someone who's really going to add to them come summer. They definitely are, like, in terms of physically, they're just a bigger and more developed than that Tyrone team that laned out yesterday. But to me, they look like a team that's on a mission. They look very much like what Mickey Hart's stamp he put on Tyrone whenever he first went into them, where he wanted to win every competition he went in, because that's where you get genuine confidence and self-belief. So they've come up from 4-3-2. They're trying to win Division 1 now. They've done their back-to-back Ulsters, and they're going to see themselves as being genuine All-Ireland contenders because of genuine silverware that they've been able to pick up along the way. So for me, now the first round game between yourselves and them, it's going to be the one that I think is really going to kick off the summer, because my brother and dad went to yourselves and them in Celtic Park in 2014 in the first round, and they come home and says Donegal is going to win the All-Ireland, and I was like, no, I think they're done. They've sort of been over the hill as a team, and they just felt that there was a spark, or there was an energy with Donegal even that early in the year, that they were going to have a long season, and I think that is the game that is going to bring out the best in McGuinness and this Donegal team as well. It's one already I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, indeed, Aaron. Listen, we can let Derry win the league. When it comes to Celtic Park, we're going to thump them, mate. There'll be no 3 in a row, Aaron. The Donegal boys is coming. We're going to get put in there, right, Pauric?
Nobody remembers the league anyway, Brendan, you know. It's kind of...
That's true. We can let Derry win the league, all right, Derry fans. You can have that. Aaron, listen, great chat to you, my man, and we'll be catching up with you as the season goes on. Always great to talk, sir.
Pleasure.
Top man Aaron Kernan there, the legend that is. After the break, we're going to speak to another legend, Niall Cleary of Setanta and Donegal.
Check this.
Albrion dúdrós áitiúil do Hansa golóir bailí. Taíonn sé le puist agus gnólachtaí, chuireann sé tuíocht fáil, agus banistíonn sé seirbhísí nós leirlinne, bóithre, pórcanna agus neart eile. Bíonn tionchar ag na cinnti agus bartais a chuireann de údrós, agus na cóirlóirí a hagann tusa I bhaim an saoil I de cheantar hain. Is féidir tuile óla seáil gov.ie/your council or na chóirtugad ag rialtas na hÉireann.
Harkins have been providing customers with quality fireplaces, stoves and electric fires for over 30 years. And now you can experience the elegance of luxurious worktop from Harkins. Their experienced craftsmen can fabricate marble, quartz or granite worktops to your specification. So, if you're planning a new kitchen or bathroom or upgrading your existing one, Harkin Fireplaces can provide a quote for your quartz, marble or granite worktop. Visit their showroom in Ballybogan, Lifford or call 9141109 or visit them online at harkinfireplaces.ie.
Do you need a little extra help staying in your home? At Bluebird Care, we offer a wide variety of QMark approved personalised home care services across Donegal. And our fully trained and committed staff will always meet your care needs with kindness, compassion and dignity. To get your personal home care assessment plan, visit bluebirdcare.ie or call our care team today on 07491 29562 and bring care home.
The DL debate with Sister Sara's Letterkenny, serving food you'll love till 9 p.m. daily in Sara's kitchen. And there's free admission entertainment every weekend.
Yes, welcome back, and I'm delighted to say in studio we'd won late. Well,
I don't know. You don't comment.
Aaron Kernan was on about goal scorers here. I thought he would have mentioned you.
He doesn't sound about me now.
Niall Cleary, great to see you, Niall. I was just saying, you off air there. I mean, what a season, what a career you've had and still are having, of course. Donegal and Setanta. And I was saying, I've never heard of joint managers that both played. How did you manage to cope with that throughout the season? And obviously you coped brilliantly because you made history and went all the way and won the Ulster.
Yeah, well, it was like this, Brendan. We needed a way to guarantee that we're both going to still be on the team. So we said we had to go and take it.
You're on.
That was dropping me. But no, it was,
I like it.
Look, Kevin was kind of manager last year with Gary McGettigan, the two of them, and he wanted to play a bit, he's still at that stage. So he asked me to kind of come in and give him a hand this year. So we managed it. It gets tough, like in the big games, in finals, and then when you get to the Ulster and that, it gets tough to make decisions. But having Gary on the line was a big help there. Yeah,
and Gary, of course, some experienced manager himself. How did that? Did you just need to go to him and say, right, Gary, we're going to need somebody strong on the line to relay to be part of this, and fair play to Gary, because that can't have been easy for him. Then he's still kind of involved, but he's not the manager, but of course he's a pivotal role.
He wanted to take a step back, but he hardly missed a session all year. But no, you just kind of go before the matches, and you have a big chat. You go through all your scenarios, everything. You think you cover everything. There's always stuff that crops up in matches that you're not, but you try and cover as much as you can, and then he knows, we've chatted it through. He knows, right, if Brendan gets injured or if this happens or whatever, this is what we do. So there's a lot of planning and meeting and stuff involved in it. So, but no, it worked out well in the end. It did get really tough in the big games. When you're under pressure in a game and you just can't concentrate on playing and making decisions. So all the decisions on the match days then were kind of left to Gary.
Yeah. And I was just saying to you, Niall, in terms of when you're playing then and you see some kind of tactics, are you thinking then, because you're watching your man or you're watching the Slaughter, are you thinking, I need to relay that, or you just have to get on with your game, or what? You wait to half time, or what?
No, definitely at the start I was trying to think with a manager's hat on as well and play, and I was like, oh Jesus, if he's going bad over there, can we move him? What do we need to do? Do we need to, But just as the year went on, I realised you can't do it, so you just chat through all those scenarios and you leave it all to Gary then on the day. Like the odd time you would see something very obvious, you know what I mean, and you might make a call while you're playing. But mostly it was all the decisions were left to Gary on the day. It was more, to be honest, it was more coaching. Me and Kev, we were doing mostly the coaching, the training during the year, like that kind of thing.
And Kevin's role going back in the goals, like he was brilliant at it. In many ways, I suppose that his ability out the field seemed to help him in terms of being able to sweep and come out.
Exactly, very clever hurler, very skillful. So he's made for the goals. I don't know why he didn't go back in a couple of years earlier, you know what I mean? Because he was kind of struggling out the field a little bit to keep up with the training and that. And it was real kind of bonus for us this year to have him on the ball and in the nets. And he's just a lot of experience there. Like, it's the same as watching Donegal there yesterday with Luke White in the nets. Like, when you're a goalie, you can come out and take the ball and gives you that sense of security. It's a massive plus. So he was definitely a big plus for us this year.
Yeah, and just on yesterday's victory, I mean, going away from when we were chatting to Mickey McCann last week, you know, he's on about players missing, and you know, I seen Donegal the defeat the Wicklow at home last year. They really overpowered us, you know, and I thought to myself, we're going. Now I know they were missing players too, but the scoreline, did it surprise you? 222-13 away from home. I mean, Division 2B, as we know, it was division for years. Donegal would get in, they couldn't hang out. Now they're seasoned in there, but I mean, away victory like that there, it was a phenomenal start, didn't it?
Yeah, it's probably credit to what Mickey's built over the last, since he's come in whatever it was, he must be there 6 or 7 years now. He's really built a good, strong panel there, brought through a lot of young players there in the last few years, and look, in lots of ways, it was the ideal game to get Wicklow in a little bit of disarray at the moment. Manager stepped down 10 days before the league. You know, they won the Nicky record last year, but they can be a bit like that, you know what I mean? It's like as if they didn't fancy going up to the Christie Ring and the challenge of that, so a load of them just didn't commit this year. So for Donegal, it was probably the ideal first game to get, you know what I mean, even though it was down in Aughrim, but ideal first game to get. And those young lads, a couple of lads making their debut, Kieran Kern, cornerback, and a couple of the young lads, you know, it was just an ideal game to get. And yeah, good performance. 223 is a massive score, you know, won by 16 points. I think they had 9 or 10 scorers, so loads of things to be pleased with.
Yeah, McKinney man of the match 5, Gilmore 1-9. Just looking to hurling, we seen it last night on there, and you see that football teams, I think, now not to say they can't get hammered, but it's hard. You can get a team and set up defensively. You can't do that in hurling. We've seen some annihilations there last night. It seems to be, you know, if a team goes on a bit of a run and goes up a division, they better be ready for that, because there seems to be a massive step in some of the leagues up there. And I suppose for Donegal, you're always thinking 2B, you know, unless you really bossed it, you know, is that what would be your feeling now? 2B is a good place for us at the minute?
I think it's a good place. I think, yeah, it's very competitive. Like, it's a league where you really need to, like, that first win is big because it gives you a safety net, it gives you, you know, you're maybe not going to get relegated, because even if it goes to head against Wicklow, you have to head against them, so you're guaranteed. So then you can kind of relax into the other games. But yeah, like I'd say the rest of the games will all be, you know, a couple of scores in it. But still, you know, they've been in 2B, they've been to a final in 2B last year. They'll probably be, you know, looking at getting to a final again, and they won't be overly disappointed if they don't get up. But I'd say it'll be all about the championship for Mickey this year. No, I think I get the feeling he really wants another Nicky record this year.
Looking at the grassroots as well, a lot of development happening around the county, and suppose then it's getting other clubs to start a hurling team, and I suppose that's been a challenge now for Donegal over the years.
Probably has, yeah. Like, I'm up here 10 years, so I've seen a big lot of work gone in at underage. Like, even now you look at the county team, it's not just Burt or Setanta anymore. Every club is represented, I think, nearly bar maybe Ballyshannon don't have anyone on it, but the rest of the clubs are all represented on the county team. So obviously Carndonagh, Union's, Burt, Setanta in particular have all done a pile of work underage, and that's coming to fruition now. But no, there's definitely working on. I see Cormac Carton that's involved in the kind of development side now, and I see they've a role advertised for a hurling coach over in the Gaeltacht, which is great. You know, they've hurling in Gweedore underage and a bit over in Dunlow as well. So it's definitely growing all the time. We're actually lucky because we have 8 senior clubs. Like, if you look at other inter-county teams at the same level, Tyrone, Roscommon, Sligo, you know, they've far less. They've only 3 or 4 senior hurling clubs. So it's kind of, I know Donegal's a big county, but it really is a credit to the work that's gone on in the clubs at underage level.
So what you're telling me, in a couple of years there'll be a few Devenneys floating about Gweedore. You know,
I played for Burt when I was young, but you mightn't like that now. But
yeah, so you're with Joe Boyle, aren't you? So yeah, you have a bit of hurling in you somewhere, right?
Well, my mum's from Galway, you see. She was in the hurling side. She was at school with Brendan Linsky, and you have to be of a certain age to remember.
But it's probably a thing that football clubs maybe be a bit hesitant about taking hurling in. They'd be thinking, but really, like in a county when Donegal, when push comes to shove, if you're playing hurling and football, unless you come from a really hurling family, you're probably still going to choose the football. So it's only going to benefit like the skills and things like that.
Sean McVeigh had that Antrim tie-in, which you know, he doubled. But listen, I can only speak for Unions. We embrace it. Like I know there's some silliness in some situations there now, but Unions certainly embrace it. And certainly this season, you know, Tyrone, Derry's the big one coming up next. Sligo, you know, you've plenty of derbies in there. You've London, Roscommon, but those 3 games in particular, you know, certainly are exciting for fans, and particularly with Derry.
Yeah.
The benchmark now with Derry coming down, that'll tell a lot about Donegal.
Yeah, that'll be a big test next week. And in fairness, they've done really well against Derry in the last. Don't think they played them last year, but the previous couple of years, you know, it's been a score in it, just didn't get over the line. It's been a few years since we've beat them. Derry are good, like they had a good win again against Tyrone under new management. Derry had a good win there at the weekend. So yeah, it'll definitely be a big test next week. Donegal yesterday, you know, played well, lots of stuff to improve on, and they'll need to improve that. Like, it was a first round of a league game, there's lots of mistakes, sloppiness, but you can't afford that next week against Derry. You know, it'll be ball will be taken away from you straight away and put over the bar. You know,
you a couple of brilliant victories in Derry, of course, but Setanta on Derry soil on your way to that epic Ulster victory. Your dinner dances next week. Richie Powers coming up. You've invited me along as well for the crack.
Richie Powers, very lucky to get.
What's going on now?
Pauric's waiting on invite here. He's waiting on the invite if you have a ticket for him.
It's an open invite.
If there's a free dinner going.
Free dinner, we'll definitely be there.
It's an open invite. We're looking forward to it, Brendan. Very lucky to get Richie Power this year. 8 All-Irelands. You know, he had his Lake Reguil last week. You know, it'll be interesting to hear what he has to say. You know, the Kilkenny lads are really good with their time. Coming up here, it was Cody was up last year and
That's
Richie up this year, and then we had
Paul in the Stars. You've some contacts, boy.
Oh, I'm telling you, we're flat out on the phone.
I kind of stopped there at Richie Power, like, you know.
Well, we heard then the ex-Donegal full forward superstar was going to join us as well, and then we thought it was Murphy. We were like,
he's just such a letdown.
He just has the 8 All-Irelands more than me, but I don't know, he's counting. But listen, what a season, I suppose. You know, we're down to the last couple of minutes now, but each step of that Ulster victory, the 3 matches, underdogs every time. You know, what a season for you, is trailblazing. And of course, no, there's always has to be a first. You know, no one can ever match that or take that away. And Setanta have done that in Donegal at the intermediate level.
Yeah, no, it was class. Like, you've kind of time to reflect on it now over the last, in January, like when we weren't doing any hurling. But no, it was class. It was that first game, you know, really, the 12-week break. So you just don't know how that first game in Ulster is going to go. And you know yourself in sport, once you get that bit of momentum, it can just drive things on. And when we get over the Derry champions, just gave us a lot of belief, because we'd played Carrickmore before, we'd played, you know, Lisbon, we played all these teams and competed with them, either won or lost by a couple of points. So we knew we were at that level. And then just on the day, you know, games are won in moments. You know yourself, Jerry Gilmore getting a goal or Josh getting a goal against Middletown, and then against Carrickmore, kind of just the perfect final. Just played well from the start. A little bit of a blip in the second half, but, you know, grounded out at the end then again. So yeah, unreal year for the club, like, and everybody involved at the club. So really looking forward to celebrating now on Saturday night.
I'm looking forward
I can't wait. There's going to be, you know, the way the keeper is a big thing now. Keepers moving out and, you know, playing now. Managers actually playing and managing. So
listen, we could get this man. We'll get you a job at the bar or something like that.
The other side of it, really, yeah.
Certainly. No, thanks so much for coming on. I want to thank my guests this evening. We're out of time here. That was a brilliant show. Pauric, thanks so much for coming on. Joe Dex for producing, head of sport, Oisin Kelly, and we'll speak to you all next week.